You're more than a minor drag. Now the clock on the wall says 11:30. Give a minute or two. When the little and the big hen meet at 12, I want to see the last of you. I know I said I loved you, but tonight, my honey dear, 3 other words are on my mind. You're out of here. Take your books and your bike and your bark the lounger. Leave the table and chairs. Keep your big mouth shut or I'll tell you what, you're gonna feel your butt bounce down the stairs. No time for explanations or one more German beer. Put down the chips and read my lips. You're out of here. Go, damn you, go. None of your crying. No reminders of the tender kiss you won't be supplying. Book the plaza, sleep in the park, or ring up that blonde cashier. Stay wherever you want to. You're out of here. You never will back down. Your favorite pastime is to nag me. You bully and you bluster like some would-be Jimmy Cagney. My sweaters are too small, my 501s are far too baggy. It bugs me, I've got to set you free. Tick-tock, that's yours, that's mine. Keep an eye on the clock, leave this, take that. Wait, that was mine, oh well it's fine. Don't stop. Ooh, we look ready to me, so call a cab. That's that, close the door, don't step on the cat. Next to me, just borrow my car. The little things you do and say betray the guy you are. You called my doorman Pancho and my Uncle Bob a queer. I sure don't dig where you're coming from, and now you're out of here. I was alone in bed because you said you were hanging with the guys. Rolled over to hug your pillow, and much to my surprise, underneath that pillow was a polka dot brassiere. I never cared for polka dots. You're out of here. Tock, tick, that's yours, that's mine. Get a moving, it's slick, take this and that. Wait, that was mine, oh hell it's fine. Make the tree and leave. Ooh, won't do to sit there like a bum on a log. Hit the road, steer clear of the dog. Sayonara, see you around. One day I'll catch you on the rebound. Take 20 if you wish, but don't yell, you'll frighten the fish. Hop to, you got 10 seconds to grab a clue. I know I swore that I loved you, but tonight I'm even more sincere when I say so long, you're out of here. You got a face that beckons commuters on every subway. A pair of eyes that Leo da Vinci would love to draw. The kind of lips that hardly anyone was actually born with. The kind of body that doesn't have a single flaw. Now that you've risen to glory on your camera-friendly cheekbones, you don't get into makeup for less than 20 G's, maybe 30. You're quite impossible to flatter. That's right, it really doesn't matter. You smile and half the world is on its knees. Now why is that? 'Cause you're a little too good looking. A little too good looking. When they handed out the jeans, you shouted bingo. Because your parts all work together. They all work together with the synergy of John, Paul, George, and Ringo. You can't relate. You make little jokes about the weight of us normal folks. You might be slightly out of touch, it's true. Wouldn't be if they were you. You could be just a little too good looking. On TV you proselytize about your own brand of exercise. How I crave the dynamism of your fast metabolism. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You're like a constant fever dream. My friend saw you uptown, swore up and down you were flawless as you seem. In that magazine you came off regal as a queen. Oh sure, some pundits found it crude. You were totally nude, as if they could turn away from your nuclear appeal. Your consummate loveliness is nothing less than the American ideal. Manhattan. You and your mama got off the bus from Crested Butte before you had the opportunity to write a single postcard. You caught the notice of an Oscar de la Renta suit. Before you knew it, you were parading down the catwalk, done up in almost nothing but a look of pure disdain. You know the men will want to meet you, although they're only gonna treat you as if you simply couldn't have a brain. 'Cause you're a little too good looking, a little too good looking, with the closet twice the size of Colorado. Because you cultivate your beauty, it's a sacred duty. Late at night you smear your bod with avocado. Front cover news, you're staying mighty hot, high-level schmooze, parlay what you got into what you choose. There's gonna be a day it all slips, slides away, but last year God knows how much you took in. Just because you're so good looking, guess you can't be too good. If they asked you, you could write a book about how good you look. The shore was right on the brink of night. The pier was decked in electric light. We laughed and chattered, our faces bright from the heat. We pulled our shoes off, shook out the sand. We headed east and you grabbed my hand. My mood was reckless, your smile was sweet, as we slowly ambled up to California Street. Set free, school was done and gone, and we counted on the time till September to hold us forever. We planned our moves, pictured how we'd dress to crash the party they called success. A fragile vision still incomplete as you wrapped me in your arms on California Street. The Santa Anas were gusting, the long tall trees were listing at a graceful 45 degrees. A local band began to shine on songs from circa 1969. The amber sun had tumbled to meet the sea, spilled over the horizon like a cup of tea. We couldn't find one reason why our future wasn't golden as the sky. No one else could hear. Talk to hibiscus behind my ear. Bring on tomorrow, we had it beat by the promise that we made on California Street. From heart to heart we felt our lives begin, as every dream we ever knew came rushing in. Whatever happened would happen soon, our future full of mystery as the moon. The girl put down her little suitcase for a moment and checked her watch. She'd been waiting by the garden gate for some time, waiting for her lover to come and fetch her for their ride into the proverbial sunset. But he said he had one thing to do first. Say goodbye and good luck to the missus. A woman the girl waiting by the garden gate had never met. She had been described as his female counterpart in what, in years gone by, had been a passion play, but now had devolved into, sadly, no more than a brother and sister act. Well, the birds twittering in the nearby honeysuckle vines found this all somewhat questionable, and they mocked the girl, although they were not mockingbirds, with a little ditty, a taunting little ditty that went like this. He's been seeing you on the side, and the passion won't be denied. All I'm saying is, girl, now don't you be dumb. You know she's getting some at the cabin in Monterey, after dinner or PTA. One martini, that boy is bound to succumb. She's getting some. Though he tells you he's gonna split something and you won't swallow it, still you hesitate to admit they're doing the horizontal tango. Is he saving it up for you? I'll eat my hat if it's really true. Sorry, honey, but I just don't trust the bum. She's getting some. She's in the game. She's got the name. Love you want from your sweet pea is still community property. On their sabbatical to Paris, or in the back of their SUV, while you wait for him to toss you a crumb, she's getting some. You haven't got a face to sneeze at, or a kiss to disregard. Maybe all it takes to please that man is right smack in his own backyard. While you're trimming your hollyhocks, watching Oprah or darning socks, think about the time novel life has become. She's getting some. Silly girly, what are you gonna do when he, what are you gonna do when he, what are you gonna do when he lies to you? What are you gonna do when he, what are you gonna do when he, what are you gonna do when he lies? Men are fools and passion cools. Oh, what are you gonna do when it, what are you gonna do when it, what are you gonna do when it dies? Though you figure you've got it planned, got the situation well in hand, deep inside you do understand that stealing the candy is no. At the charity masquerade, you saw him nibble her shoulder blade. Tell me, stranger, what planet have you come from? She's getting some. Fly, fly high and away. You'll spy a true love someday. Why keep mooning while they're spooning? No need to wonder if he's under someone else's dainty thumb. Though it's upsetting, smart money's betting that girl is getting some. He was a rascal to remember, and he's captured here in living black and white. A cutie on his left, an empty brandy bottle to his right. At the edge of the frame, you can see the Steinway Grand. He would man through the night. He played the organ with a silent movie flickering in living black and white. He might start swinging in to squeeze me, swinging in to squeeze me. Honey, why not keep it light? He made a name out of clowning around, but ultimately the smart set knew he could play, he could write. You'd hear an echo of James P., a giant out of New Jersey. It was a fresh, young century nobody knew from Boogie Woogie, with Joplin barely gone. Piano men were boldly moving on. were briskly wagging about how ragtime would surely cause us all to burn. Rhythm had taken quite a turn in every parlor. People were feeling the heat of a syncopated beat. The teens and 20s, the war, the crash. Willie the Lion would make a splash, holding court in a club on 140th Street. It was magic, magic, music, too full of joy to be denied. Boys and girls, they called it stride. God bless the granddads of it all, a noble gallery in living black and white. With every note they played, your heart was happy and your world was bright. How I'd love to go back, love to journey back and hear the magic, magic, rolling off the keys in living black and white. Hey, did you see the alligator hanging around? Hey, did you see the alligator hanging around? 'Cause I could feel him in the air, he could be almost anywhere and easily the weapon when he's hungry. I thought I heard the alligator shaking the ground. I thought I heard the alligator shaking the ground. He might be in the pepper tree or maybe riding back a meal, thinking not to make a single peep. Talking about that alligator, he's the ruthless perpetrator of 1,000 heinous crimes. I'm telling you it's deep. Don't you know that scaly green annihilator would eat the world up if he could, and at the end he would happily go back to sleep. The whole gang was having a shindig when out of the blue, guess who crawls in? That reptile wearing a big smile. First he inhales the giant punch bowl. Good thing he can't hold his liquor. Once again, an narrow escape. Our nerves are not in good shape. No use in laying out cold cuts at night. It's terrible, terrible state of affairs, messing up our groove. Looks like that gator's here to stay, and we can't afford to move. Eyes. He's got the strength, he's got the size. What's more, he's got the element of surprise. Yikes, there he goes, yelled the water snake. Honey, get inside. I heard a sound, I turned around and saw him open wide. If he can't get you somehow, he makes do. Ask my neighbor Dee Dee how he ate the car when she was out taking a movie. As far as we're sick of this horror flick, I should let him have it when he drools on me again. There's power in that big jaw, death in every his sharp claw. When you hear those teeth snap, think you're gonna feel your heart start playing La Bamba. If you see his tail whip, shake a leg and don't trip. Hooray, run like hell when he rings that dinner bell. Hey, did you see the alligator hanging around? Hey, did you see the alligator hanging around? Cause I can feel him in the air, he could be almost anywhere, and he's a lethal weapon when he's hungry. I thought I heard the alligator shaking the ground. I thought I heard the alligator shaking the ground. When he hasn't had his food, he gets into a cranky mood. You know he's got a really filthy mouth. Talking about that alligator, he's the ruthless perpetrator of 1,000 ugly crimes. I'm telling you it's deep. Don't you know that scaly green annihilator is definitely after us? We better grab a bus, don't even stop to say later. Gator. She walked in wearing a timeless rag. The band was playing the Viper's Drag. I looked at her and she looked through me, lost in her own unreality. Although she slowly reconnected, everyone at the bar suspected her backlit golden eyes reflected the sight of endless night. Lately by 10 she'd be in the bag, shaking her hips to the Viper's Drag. She tore the hem of her timeless rag. The band was wailing, the Viper's Drag blew through the atmosphere. She was gone, that was clear. She looked a lot like she did in school. I said so, she said, now don't be cruel. Don't be cruel. The place was loud, the crowd unruly. Somebody swore to love her truly. She tried to make like she was duly impressed. She did her best. Those eyes grew dark as the midnight sky as she waved. How do you do complete 360 when what you got is really not a happy surprise? What are you gonna do when he lies? He made the promise I had waited for so terribly long and whispered in my ear, Sunday morning, it's a date. Meet me by the garden gate. Now with it getting on to noon, I'm wondering what could be wrong. So tired of standing here, worried that he'd be this late, getting to the garden gate. Silly starling, don't you dare say my darling doesn't care. Honeysuckle in the air, isn't sweet as his kiss was. Will we soon kiss again, or will I still be languishing here beside the garden gate, dreaming of his tender words, listening to these noisy birds? Sometimes the love you prize is only fool's gold, but still you keep on trying to make it worth the price your heart has to pay at the end of the day. Sometimes you go to sleep lonely and cold, wake up in half an hour crying, filled with a bitterness you know isn't right at the end of the night. Little sparrow in the sun, don't you dare go making fun. He said I'm his only one, said today he would tell her. 20 minutes more, that's all I'll wait here by the garden gate. Roses and columbine, dahlias and passion vine. Where is that man of mine? How do you do a quick turn around when you can feel a pretty fantasy run aground? What are you gonna do when it, what are you gonna do when it, what are you gonna do when it dies? How do you make him know how it feels to love a person who is letting you cool your heels, fighting back your tears in the twilight? So tired of waiting, so tired of waiting, so tired of waiting by the garden gate. Climbing the 5 long flights has grown to be a New York City drag. Why did you hightail it out of town? Bitter December nights are definitely a New York City drag. Lights and music only drag me down. The last leaf drops from a maple tree. The saxophone in apartment 3 describes the word lonely. Your pocket change, your scribbled reminder, tug at my heart again. New York is strange, a little unkinder. It wore your smile back then, back We strolled the sidewalks, we sailed the Hudson, an unashamed cliche. More than the splendor of the skyline, you took my breath away. Sleeping without you, dreaming about you, starting to doubt you ever loved me. It's getting to be New York City drag, deeply blue from lack of you. I'm turning into a New York City drag. A sharp wind rattles the maple tree. Some guy yells up at apartment 3. Melancholy baby, climbing the 5 long flights, has grown to be a New York City, New York City. Would you drop another quarter in the jukebox? Would you drop another quarter in the jukebox? It's a Friday night and everybody's getting into gear. If you put another quarter in the jukebox, if you put another quarter in the jukebox, I can recommend a record that you're gonna wanna hear. Bunch of guys from Sarasota got their quota of good cheer. Oh, yeah. Takes you back to the jazz age. Hot piano was all the rage. It was bliss. It felt like this. Makes you jump off the chair, shout holy moly, clap your hands. Nothing less than sheer finesse. Would you drop another quarter in the jukebox? Would you drop another quarter in the jukebox? It's a Friday night and everybody's getting into gear. Can't stand too close to the jukebox, or that groove knocks off your socks, oh baby. If you drop another quarter in the jukebox, every word that you have is gonna up and disappear. Hey, check out the Fractious fingering. Tell me you don't wanna dance and sing when you hear the band begin to swing like crazy. Man, that music drives me crazy. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. They've got spirit when I hear it. Buddy boy, I like to die. Oh yeah, I love that part. Who's that piano player? I like that guy. Who is that guy? Oh, yeah. Hold that groove now, can't stop no how. Everybody's on this train. I wonder where they learned to play like that. Can't hang on to my head. Put another quarter in, I wanna hear it all again. dear friend of mine, thought I'd drop you a line. Can't tell you how much I've missed you and yours. Pictures come back of days at the shore and starry nights worth living for. We'd only met, and I'll never forget, growing so quickly to like you and yours. I should have known right from the start I'd keep you inside my heart. Hours rolled by, still you and I would be by the fire with our long-time sweeties, talking about the state of the world. Once in a blue moon we disagreed. Grandma would wisecrack, kicked back in the kitchen with a Pabst Blue Ribbon. The little ones in PJs, they were 2 or 3. Remember when you were their one and only? May fortune smile and the stars brightly shine over us all, me and mine, you and yours. How glorious life is when friendship endures. Our love to you and yours. Love always to you and you just wouldn't, you sure shouldn't, you plain couldn't stop, you knew that. You had strange ways, a funny habit from the get-go. You never took no for an answer. The dawn's glimmer, a young swimmer, a tear shimmering in your view. You could find God in a shade of blue, and you never took no for an answer. You had vision, learned precision, for derision tirelessly. You were sneered at by the bourgeoisie. It must have hurt, but you never took no for an answer. Your fixation, the recreation of the vegetation in the river and the pine trees, ever lovelier, that would never take no for an answer. Though you hadn't shown much of a flair for law school and matters of finance, you thought the family would faint during the dinner table chat when you said you would become a painter. Tears in the eyes of your mama, your nauseated your papa. You begged them, you begged them, you begged them, you begged them to believe in their son. And when you headed to Paris, you could use little money. The bright city had no pity on that pretty, terrible trip. The salon said, sorry, pal, you ain't hip. It was a blow, but you never took no for an answer. answer. At one showing, the least glowing review going, declared to work a true abomination, and he thought you ought to get real. You had to say no, 'cause that wasn't the answer. See, when it all came together, you felt like singing. Some days you were sunnier, had to admit you were really something. Now let's add little red here, try a little more yellow. Sweet symmetry, greenery, rapturously portrayed. Little orange over there, come on now. Tries and counting. You drew and you drew, it always eluded you. Now and then you would paint your wife. You had no betters, and in your letters wrote you finally had sight of the line at her promised land. On the outside of 60, you just wouldn't, you sure shouldn't, and you didn't stop. You had that damn flat, you had strange ways. The funny habit found the key code, you never took no for an answer. You did suffer, but got tougher, and old tougher, brave in your glue. Like the poster in the dining room, sadly looking out from the distant past. Did you know there would be a yes at last? Or did you wind up crazy? Well, maybe, baby, you had to be Cezanne.